Alright, so we're here with Choco, Seeker of Paradise, 4 mana 3/5. Bird. Whenever one or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards on the top, put one to your hand, and then the rest of them, if any of them are lands, you just put them into play. So if there's 4 lands and a non-land, you can put 4 lands into play, and then put the non-land to your hand. And then it has this other part of it that I'm not even going to read. So that's kind of cool. You can definitely go crazy with that. It's sort of like Curiosity on steroids for birds. And that I like that. So we're running a bunch of birds. 1 mana 1/1 flyers are probably really good, even though they don't really have any other text on them. I mean, some of them actually don't have any other text on them. Well, one of them, yeah, this one. This is probably fine. Birds of Paradise, Gilded Goose, they're also birds. Roaming Throne seems a little bit out there. I know everyone loves this card, and it's like $30 on paper, but it costs 4. And this is a 1v1 format. It does have Ward 2, though, which I do like. It competes with my Commander's Turn at 4 mana. So I'm probably not ever going to cast it instead of this. It depends what's in play still, or, you know, what has happened up to that point. But the 4 slot is a little... Nadu is also a bird. So this is a very scary card for your opponent to let just exist while not killing it first, right? So your opponent's probably going to really throw everything they've got at this before the rest of your stuff. Because if they don't, they're just losing. So that's kind of cool. Derevi is also a bird. I'm a little bit all over the place with this one. But if you do have multiple attackers, you can untap a fair amount of lands, and that's kind of cool, I guess. But not super amazed. I have, was it 22 birds? It was 23 for a long time. I ended up taking out that weird one, but, well, they're all weird. But I guess this works. Discounting the birds is nice. If it wasn't for the discount, I would not play this. But it does discount the birds. There's some other cards that could be in here that are not, because I either don't own them, such as, but not limited to, this thing. It's kind of like, what is it? Realm Walker? Right? It's like Realm Walker, but for birds. And it triggers your birds more than once, which there's not too many of that happening. And the landfall triggers of giving your birds like +1/+0, I don't really care about, kind of at all. So it's not as exciting as it might look, but I would probably put it in here if I owned it. Wait, it doesn't fly, does it? I didn't think of that. It doesn't fly. Chocobos don't fly, which... Oh boy. Oh dear. Yeah, the bird package is like, ooh, like this doesn't fly. So that is a bit unfortunate, because the major chunk, actually basically almost all of the birds in the history of this game kind of fly. Not all of them, but a large amount of them fly. So the Final Fantasy birds not flying is quite notable. But we're going to try it, and we're going to see what happens. So they did. Oh, playing the Surveil lands. Huge. Playing Mana Rocks, too. Wow. Oh, there it is, chat. There it is. Look at it go. Okay, that was a really good card to see. Do I sack my commander for that? If I do, my opponent's just like not playing their commander for the rest of the game. I think I'm so far ahead that I just don't care about this. I'm just so far ahead. I'm not worried about my opponent doing the same thing back to me. So lead with the attack. Oh, I should have played this first, actually. I could have, yeah, alright. Kind of messed up. I could have put a counter on it. Definitely a mistake there. I could have also played a land pre-combat, and then that would have also let me have a breakpoint easier, so they couldn't block. Don't think them blocking really matters, though. Don't think that really matters. But yeah, I should have done this pre-combat. I don't think this game is about, like, instances of 3 damage or something like that. Just kind of just drowning my opponent in value is going to be better. Yeah, I'm just ahead by a lot. All right. I mean, it's a 1-mana 1/1 flyer. I'm running goal. I think it's perfectly fine. Herald's Horn. That's probably... Wait a minute. No, it's not a bird. No, go for it. Go for it. If you hit birds, congratulations. I'm just so far ahead that I don't care. Yeah, this... I mean, this is just... I could have actually flashed in my other card there. I could have flashed this in and just... Like, it just doesn't. I'm so far ahead. Just so far ahead. Whoops, chat, I didn't put the lands in my hand. I'm actually not the brightest bulb in the box. It's alright. I did not put the lands in my hand. Whoops. Oh no, I missed lethal because of it too. Whoops, I guess we have more game to play. That's funny. My bad. I forgot to click the lands in the second list. I got confused thinking it was the second roaming throne list, where I picked the non-lands again. I tripped myself up with the second list. My bad. Alright, I don't think there's a single card my opponent could... Wow, they're actually playing Uro. There's not a single card in the game here that saves them. I mean, there's River's Rebuke, but I have answers, so it's just not going to be enough. I guess an extra turn... No, again, I can counter the extra turn. It's not enough. If the only thing they cast is Uro... That's, what, 4 mana? Another creature enters, flying, enters, counter and target creature, flying. I don't care. Do not care. My opponent hasn't really done anything to make me cast this yet, which is kind of funny. They did not cast Uro. Oh, they could not cast Uro. Okay. Alright, you wash away my 2/1. You got it. Alright, that's most assuredly GG. But I'll swords it anyways. I'm gonna name Illusion because it doesn't know. Wow, that was no lands. Okay. Absolutely no lands. We could probably run Uro because we do mill a lot. We do mill a lot. Also, this thing is a 17/18. That's crazy. Okay, this game is... I didn't swing... I missed lethal twice. I missed lethal twice. Chat, what am I doing? I missed lethal twice. Hey, okay. Oh my goodness. Yep, you have... I'm, again, not casting Flare. you just have to cast something that matters. And I don't see that happening, so... Alright, yep, none of that matters. Alright, I'm just gonna swing all out. That way it's not possible to miss lethal. For the third time in a row. Look, I wanna have my value. Alright, let me have my stuff. I wanna do stuff. Who doesn't like a 20 bajillion? Little chocobo there. Okay. I think we have to just play it lame and respect the things my opponent could do. Yeah. Because mana draining almost anything is better than like any other thing I could do. You know what? We're going to counter it with this. Because I don't actually have a mana drain without a green source into my commander this turn. So I'm going to just counter it with that. They also didn't play a land first. They didn't respect the censor. They don't have a land. Oh no. Tragic. Don't worry, opponent. I also don't actually have green mana. Alright, yeah, I was about to... Well, they conceded. What if they had a land? They didn't even see. Don't think that one's great. Tezzeret's kind of spooky. I do have Cavernous Souls, though. So maybe slightly less spooky? Still very spooky, for sure. Spooky, spooky. You can copy it with Mock. Yep. Can do that. Can Mockingbird it. Alright. I don't like this scenario. I don't like anything that's happening right now. This is all just bad news bears. 1, 2, 3. So they can just easily kill Nadu. Oh, come on. What? Come on. Ugh. Alright, well I have to cast it, so. Again, it's just another game where I wish I had, like, one of these turn 1. Ooh. At least Nadu draws a card and they have to minus. What is the ultimate? Emblem at the beginning of combat on your... Yeah, they have to minus, or my opponent feels like they have to minus. Also reveals, like, the worst thing to show to your opponent. Oh, shoot. This exiles, right? It does. I prefer Gilded used to be uncounterable. We exile the Simulacrum, I think. We could ignore Simulacrum, actually, and just exile a Mana Rock. Sure. Works for me. Okay, well, silly me. Thinking my cards did things. Okay. Exile the land. I mean, it's all mana. It's all the same. Opponent didn't leave up mana for a counter spell, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat, but Wash Away exists because it does, and that's not great. So do we swing with the Masked Vandal for another count on the trigger and just trade with this? I probably, you know what, I should, because I don't like the draft now. So I think that's a reasonable trade. Not very ideal. Not very ideal, chat. Not what I wanted to see. Alright, so we just bounce off each other, that's fair. And I will pass. I could do this now. I probably should, because the One Ring is egregious. I know I, like, kind of lose my stuff when this happens, but I don't have a... I mean, the One Ring is just better than anything I'm doing. So I mean, I can't really let that just exist. Alright, well, that's scary. Let's not lose the game to that. Okay, I'm just gonna recast my commander, I think. Well, no, I don't have to. I could just play other things. Yeah, we can just play other cards instead right now, I think. Let's play these two. Put the old pressure here. Yeah, Splash Portal's a sorcery. Splash Portal is a sorcery. Alright. We kind of got there in terms of, like, not losing the game to my opponent's commander. I will swing all out here. Mana Drain is a card that exists. No lands. Yikes. I do not have Mana Drain mana. I would have if I didn't swing with the Gilded Goose, but I swung with the Gilded Goose, so... Oh, never mind. Oh, wait, yes, no, it's still true. That is still true. That is still true, whether or not I play this first. Sundering Titan, alright. So they lose a swamp, and I lose one of each. Okay, I lose more than one of each. Great. Opponent loses, Oh, wait. Wait a minute. The second one doesn't do anything. My opponent had to blow up 2 of their own lands? Oh no, an island and a... They could target the same thing. I was about to say, okay, that Sundering Titan was very, very questionable. Yeah. Now, I probably would have still cast it, not thinking about it, but that didn't really pan out too well for the opponent there. Not gonna lie to you. Did not really pan out too well. That was rather symmetrical. Okay, so... Always swinging with these 3. Put that to my hand? Yeah. And then play nothing? Sounds about right. I'm not winning the damage race with 2 7/10s as it stands, but it's close. Yep. That was off the top of my opponent's deck. Oh look, it's that card. No way. Explains why my opponent swung so quickly. So, play you. Play you. Crack this food token. Could matter. I'm not going to swing with Choco. I don't want to trade with Simulacrum. Tamiel a little too late to the party, but it's still it's just the best among that pile of cards. So yeah, I just don't want my opponent to lose the Solemn Simulacrum. They're dead next turn anyways, so they have to do something right now. It's like River's Rebuke or you lose, I think. Or that, I guess. Wait, they could have paid for that. Opponent, that's a oopsie doopsie. You could have just paid for that, right? Oh no, it's pay 4. Never mind. Right, it's the bird mana leak. It's pay 4. I thought they only had to pay 3. We have cards. I'm gonna get the Triome, which means no 1-drop, but I need all my colors. Green. I need all my color. Yep, I'm getting the Triome. It's not like playing these turn 1 is breaking the bank or anything. Might lead with the voice, actually. Yeah, that makes life more reasonable to play this. It is a 2-drop, otherwise I'm not using all my mana. Alright, there's a lot of things I don't want to see here. We might want to add more lands, which is kind of nuts. I'm not running MDFCs, really. Alright. Play my commander and then what? Lose a game? Sure. A second copy of my commander is pretty nice. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have played it. Still kind of just like losing. So let's permanently deal with the POC so the game doesn't become like egregious and dishonest. Let's get rid of the non-flying threat. This has to... We have a second flyer. Let's just do that. Technically lets me swing, so... Sure, why not? I don't think they're gonna trade. Well, probably would have lost if POC was in play. Come on, voice. Give me a token, please. Just one token. Do it. Okay, well, that doesn't work, opponent. Rip. I did not expect the Judge's Familiar to do anything like that, so that's kind of nuts. We just monetized the... Okay, yeah. That is, funny. I'm not going to brainstorm in response. That is really funny. Alright, that did way more than I think it should have done. Wow. Yeah, we'll play this. If they have an answer to the board, I mean, it's fine. We just judges familiar to Time Warp. World first. Alright, does the All Creatures Yarok deck, now that it needs a board wipe, suddenly have one in hand? Let's find out. No, it doesn't. Tragic. What does this do? Secretly choose that player sacrifices a creature. Okay. So they probably choose my commander, and I don't know why they wouldn't, but I do not need Esper Sentinel if something weird happens. So, alright, they named Ledger Shredder. Yeah, I think that worked out. Yeah, that worked out. Okay. That's actually a good draw for the Brainstorm. All of this is welcome. All of this is welcome to me. Literally. Let's, I don't think I need to Revy anymore. I still want the second copy of my commander. Actually, I could straight up just get those cards. Could straight up just get them. Yeah, why not? Both of them are fine. Let's just do that. I think that's better than average, so why not? There is a trade in play, so that just doesn't work because of the fetch land. I can shock myself for free here. Yeah, they wanted to block the Choco because it's not a good trade. One ring ain't gonna get you there. My opponent does draw cards and stuff, but unfortunately, so do I. So do I. Oh, I don't draw with Tamio though. Still swinging though. I guess? Do we play Roaming Throne, though? Don't have to. I don't have to actually play anything. I probably shouldn't play anything. So we'll just send this. Call it a day. Although... No, there's no reason. I have no... I'm not interested. My opponent's at 5. Like, I don't need to do anything. I don't expect a Tamio ultimate, but... Yeah, the One Ring's not going to save you unless you blow it up. You have to stabilize and blow it up. Crab Abomination. Alright, nope. Yeah, there's not much. Not much. I don't think I have ever seen, like, ever, someone emerge the crab. I just didn't have one of my answers to it. I don't think I'm going to run, like, a bunch more answers to it. Let's play Birds of Paradise. Let's play Birds of Paradise. This is Audric. I have not played against Audric before. Ever. Let's, name Bird. Don't you target my horn. Get out of here. Oh. Rude. Alright, so blue. And play the commander? Can wait, actually. I probably should wait. Full stop, wait. Yep, I will. I think this is a far superior play, especially for the text box of that card. Yeah, this makes sense. Your last non... Wait, what? Okay, I don't know what I'm playing against, but I'm a bit confused. I am slightly confuzzled. I will not be playing Skrill. I'm sensing Spell Pierce is relevant here because they're doing weird stuff. I don't know what's going on. This is weird. Okay, sure. It's got humans in it. We know that. Destroy target creature with power toughness 4 or greater. Alright, Spell Pierce didn't get there. Tragic. That is a 2-mana 2/2 lifelink, and it is not a human. Whoa. Opponent is deep into something, and I'm really here for it. I like this. I like what I'm seeing. Fetch land or non-fetch land? Let's just maintain the fetch land. This is a 2/2 Weasel Soldier. Oh, right, it's a soldier, right? Creatures you control. No, this is not the Odric I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the original Odric that, like, you can choose combat. Like, oh, this blocks that, and this dies in the corner or something. Okay. So, creatures with first strike have double strike. Fascinating. Let's play you. Yep. I don't like the scenario I'm in. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a fan of this scenario right now. But surely they're out of removal. It's only been 3 removal spells, right? In a deck that wants to be mono white beat down. So surely they're out of removal. There's no attack here, right? There is actually no attack here. They are stonewalled by a 3/5. That is kind of huge. I will not crack the fetch land. Mana Drain, yay! Oracle pre-combat, probably. Oh, most assuredly. Oh, hey, look. Wait. What? What? Okay. What? What just happened? Did it just shuffle them all to the top? Like, what? What is happening? Can play this, but then I can't swing here. Okay, it's time to crack this. Do I play this? It only untaps 1 land. It's kind of ugly, actually. It's kind of ugly. Yeah, alright, maybe that was just wrong. Maybe that was wrong. I don't need more of that. Have I played a creature this turn? No, I have not. Oh, I drew a land. Okay. Works out. I can cast Uro, but I can also just not do that. So, I'll just cast a little, measly little 1/1 here. Alright, you need a human. They drew a land for the turn. That is a human? That's not what I meant, though. Untap 3 lands? How? No, yeah, it's just 1 land. I only have 1 attacker. It's just 1 land. Yeah. That's not right. Equip warriors you control have double strike. 1 on enters? Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I didn't math the 1 on enter. Fair enough. Alright, so you have double strike again, but again I have a 3/5. So can only swing with your commander, and it's a trade, and that feels really miserable, I think, for an Odric player. But I don't think I'll make the trade. Yeah, alright. Oh, look, it's another one of these. Ah, that one's not great, though, is it? No, not really. Alright, now we'll play this. It's actually... Maybe I could have played this last turn because, specifically, of the Utopias Brawl. I probably could have played Zarevi last turn. So... Tapping their commander still doesn't let Choco swing. It still doesn't let it swing. I'm going to cast this now, so I have just more ideas of what I'm doing this turn. Giver seems ideal, given what my opponent's doing, but they're out of cards, so I don't really care. I have all this. I'm not concerned about that. Alright, name Bird. But they do have the ground locked up with a wall of double strike, which is kind of cool. I like what my opponent's got going on over there. There's just so much double strike on the ground. It's kind of cool. I should order these differently, shouldn't I? Yeah. Scry, like, first. Or whatever. Doesn't matter. We'll take our Serum Visions. But as you can see, a lot of the games, it hasn't boiled down to us, like, needing, mana dorks. I mean, stats. We're like, oh, imagine all these had +2/+2. The game would be over faster, but in the intermediate, I wouldn't have, like, a wall of permission that like, lets me get away with the value here. My opponent could probably be at 100 life. I don't think there's much they could do here. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a human. Oh, no, but they did not use Cavernous Souls to cast it. They didn't use Cavernous Souls. But I was wondering what they were holding priority with, because it wasn't Solitude. I had no idea what it could have been. Alright, so Odric can die and be recast, and it trades with Uro, so you should probably swing with at least Odric here. I could just jump it with a 2/2 bird, but... Okay. Hey, we flipped it. We got the black Chocobo. We did it. We did it. Let's get command center. Let's do this now. I don't want that. Let's do it again. Not exciting. I can swing with Uro. I might as well, I mean, it doesn't matter. So much first strike. It's nuts how much first strike they have. It's actually crazy. Like, all double strike. Like, Uro doesn't even trade with anything. It's crazy. I can't swing on the ground at all. I could have swords their commander. I could have swords the commander, in all fairness, but, like, this is way more fun. Let's be real. They should block with everything, because it's all free and all has lifelink, so you might as well just put it all in front. I like my opponent's deck a lot. The wall of removal to start the game with was a little interesting. I'm not sure if I agree all the way with that one, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure what I'm drawing towards. That, like, matters here. If I was going to cast Ancestral Recall. Flare? Do I need Flare? I do not. My opponent's in top deck mode. Another game where Spell Pierce didn't really get there. How many lands we played this turn? Jeez. Alright, Healer's Hawk, get in there. Get in there. Angel, I guess. I have cards that are worth discarding. Let's just cast Ancestral Recall. Okay. Not quite. Time Twister. Nope. Don't want a Time Twister. Don't want that. Oh man, the value. Look at our board state. Oh my goodness. Alright, here comes the Hail Mary attack, I'm sure. Yep, there it is. Do that and take 4, 5, 6, was it 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is a free block. Oh, wait a minute. That just gets wrecked. Wreck that. Wreck that. Trade. And trade. Sure. Alright, my entire opponent's board is gone. I could have cast Heroic Intervention, but I don't know, maybe there's a sweeper. I don't expect one. Oh, and Odric can choose Indestructible. It can choose Indestructible. Okay, it wasn't one. Oh, hey, it's Tamio. Just in time. Just in time. No, you don't get to kill my little... No, you don't get to kill that. No, no. They didn't die, chat. They didn't die. Okay, you know, on the bright side, I didn't miss Did I miss lethal? Oh, I did, didn't I? Did I miss lethal? Hold on. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No. I didn't like... Did I have a fetch lane in play that would have let me do stuff? How did that not kill my opponent? Jeez. That's insane. How did they not die there? That feels a little weird. I'm just a little bit surprised that wasn't, like, that lethal just wasn't in there. Like, up front. Sure. Why not? Okay, well, there's no card they could draw that matters, so it doesn't matter. But we get to do more things. I'll let you have a catcher. I'm not even gonna count it. There you go. You have your little Odric with double strike. I got my little 1/1 chumpies. I didn't even have to do that, but I did. I actually could have drawn more cards if I didn't let them do that. Like nothing ever happened. Judge is familiar. What's with all these drawing 2-drops? Or 1-drops too late? I highly doubt they cast Vivi this turn, but maybe they have no respect for the birds. If they do cast Vivi, they're in serious trouble. I just don't expect it. Unless they have Chrome Mox or something. If they have one of the boxes, then congratulations, I guess. No, I didn't think so. Splash Portal. Not the greatest. Oh wait, did I miss damage? I did, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. Alright, so I'm not going to cast my commander. Although I could. We could just cast our commander and say we lose the game if they counter it. Oh, it's flying creatures. Never mind. For some reason, my brain demands that Choco has flying. I don't think I Splash Portal. But maybe I do. But yeah, I did miss a damage. Maybe I do Splash Portal. Yeah, I think I do, actually. Target this, because I don't think they can reasonably kill it in response, so... Why not? This card hasn't been too useful for us yet. But yeah, I technically missed damage here. Hopefully it doesn't matter, but... Well, it certainly could. Yeah, this could just be something else, maybe. Been a little bit unimpressed with that. I think the Solitude read is pretty online right now. But we'll see. Oh, I guess it wasn't. Oh, the blowout is real, chat. Look at that. The blowout is real. Oh, the perfect 2? Always, every game, forever. Yeah, the Solitude read is pretty real right now. Do I plan on playing Terra? If I haven't played it before, assume I will at some point, because nothing's off the table. This Judge's Familiar has been very, very good. Alright, let's not miss damage this time, shall we? Oh, not the perfect 2. I'll take I'll just take that. That's fine. It's for Solitude, and it's also just another removal spell, right? Oh, I ended up missing damage anyways. I didn't play my land first. Missed more damage. I'm just throwing damage right off the table. Don't even want it. Don't even care about it. Draw 2, discard a card when you deal damage to each creature where each is the highest. Alright, they just concede to a counterspell, I'm sure. No, they didn't. Alright, well, I would've. But to be fair, it's not lethal. And boop. Solitude is almost lethal. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what else they could draw to get out of this one here. That is not a Menadork. Tragic. We do have a quick commander here. Again, no Surveil lands. I think we're not trying to play a bunch of tap lands in this deck. Alright, they do have a Menadork. It's just off curve. I will play my commander, I think, right? Do I lose if it gets, like, dealt with? Maybe. Maybe this is just better, actually. Yeah, because this leaves up more stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's just deal with Llanowar Elves, because my opponent's been off curve. So they can no longer wash away and have it do anything. And I don't believe Spell Pierce is a real card in Ureni, so... Yeah, this is just better. Plays around wash away, and it just takes out my opponent's mythic rare. And now if they have wash away, Voice of Resurgence is a huge problem. Alright. Looks like they didn't have it. Or just didn't want to cast it. Can I cast Uro? Nope, can't cast Uro. Does this let me play... This does let me play my commander. Big and true. And pass. Okay, well they didn't turn it into lands. Interesting. This is not Scute Swarm, by the way, otherwise we'd be kind of screwed. Be just a tad bit in trouble if that was Scute Swarm. Can I swing with my commander? I can, but it requires heroic intervention to matter. I think that's okay. I think that is okay. Do I even want this card? I think I want it in the graveyard for Uro. I will just take it. Let's just take it. Let's not think like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so... I would do the same block if I were my opponent. Let's just leave up these. Play this pre-combat. Bird. Swing. Bird. Actually, removal. Or even this. All of this is fine. Let's just take the removal spell and not be weird. And Uro. And pass. Do I care about Green Warden? Not really. You can... Actually, it does have reach. It does have reach. I'm not interested enough to deal with it with Memory Lapse, so I'll let him have a fetch land or whatever. I don't care. You get some 1/1s and you have a fetch land. I don't think that matters. That also doesn't matter. Well, actually, it kind of does, but there's not much I can do about that, so... Not much I can do about that. Alright, so they get another 1/1 this way. Delighted Halfling is, actually is a problem. Okay, it is. It is, but this stops me from attacking, and I can't really let that happen, so... Bird? Oh, we got a bird, chat. We got a bird. It happened. It happened. We got a bird. So, here. Here. I don't know why I'm playing these pre-combat, but I am. And swing. I think I swing with my commander. I think I swing with my commander because I have to see as many cards as possible. Although, I could just not swing with it. Okay, we're gonna just not swing with it. Alright, that's pretty lame. Also pretty lame. Okay, so now we have to deal with Ureni, it seems. Oh, they had a choice to mass block Uro, actually, so maybe swinging with my commander was fine, because they can't do both. I don't know. You just got beat by the bird deck? Oh no, I didn't tap my dual land. Tragic. Don't think it matters. We will play Roaming Throne because there's potential for mistakes here from the opponent. And yep. Alright, so they can only kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They only have 7 lands. They can only deal 7 damage. It's still pretty problematic, though. They cannot target Roaming Throne. They just can't target it. It will not work. So they have to make sure they do not do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They should kill my flyers. They will. Uro still reasonably attacks here, though. Good old Delighted Halfling. There is not many reasons to keep these lands here. I'd rather just not draw these lands if I can help it. This is white, so it cannot swing anyways. Yeah, I just want to do this. There's not really... I mean, I don't have Skew Swarm in my deck, or anything like that. Let's just take lands out of our deck. Maybe I can't swing this, so... Hey, that's not a bird. Alright, so... Swing with Uro and the Raptor? I could swing with all of these. I could just do that. Yeah. None of these I would miss too bad if it doesn't pan out for me. I guess I swung with my commander anyways. So I can copy my opponent's commander, which is absolutely hilarious with Mockingbird. Doesn't that just win? I feel like that just wins. I feel like that wins. Does that win? Hold on, now I have to think. Doesn't that just win? This is 8. X for 7. Because I spent 8 mana on it. Doesn't it just win the game? Why doesn't it work? Why doesn't it work? I did it for 7. Because it was discounted. It was discounted. I had to spend 8 mana. I had to spend 8 mana. Alright. Alright, colossal mistake. Colossal mistake. The discount got me. Colossal mistake here. That's not worth fighting over. That's not worth fighting over at all. Wow, that was a huge mistake. Stupid horn. Stupid horn. I think I'm still okay, though. I think I'm still okay. Opponent does not keep a counterspell. Oh, that was so gross. Sylvan Primordial? What the heck? Let's delay that for a bit. That's a little nuts. Hey, we hit another bird. Alright, well, it's looking like we are not just blown out of the water, given our mistake here. But definitely a misplay. Holy lands. Holy lands. No. No. Okay, that's useful. Okay, swing, 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 swing. There's Helm of the Host. Not that like is that amazing, but I think this counterspell still has a lot of value here, so I will keep it. We also hit 3 Tree City and have more than 2 birds. That's pretty cool. They finally block the commander and kill it, and then we will C-dash Mockingbird. Draw another card here. I can recast my commander next turn, so that's not a big deal. We have all the mana in the world because this deck likes mana, so. And I will not cast Helm of the Host for no reason. Dragon enters 3 damage to each creature. That is a big no. They could have cast that last turn. Oh, get wrecked. Yep. Yep. Get wrecked. So I really like this. This is much more interesting than I thought it was going to be. It isn't just like fly at your opponent's face, mono blue tempo, spell pierce nonsense, curiosity effects, and explore, you know, all that jazz. It's just you swing with birds, and they're all planar cleansings, or planar, whatever it's called. Planar genesis. You just look at the top, put lands in play, and then put one of the nons into your hand. So there's a ton of value. I was drowning in cards. You probably want Reliquary Tower if you don't want to discard. There are cards that care about discarding. You could probably run Snapcaster Mage. I was running Uro, which would definitely want you to discard. And also having more than 7 cards in your hand doesn't really change. Like, you're not discarding things that would matter because you're stuck at 7 cards. You're just going to keep the best 7. The best 7 is about the same as keeping 14 cards in your hand, right? So, I like this. I didn't feel like I needed board wipes. I did kind of want more removal than I had, and some of these birds were definitely not great, so you could probably take some of the birds out and add just better cards. Llanowar Elves is just better than Aven Mind Sensor. Elvish Mystic is probably better than, honestly, the majority of the 3-mana. Like, this is terrible. It drew cards every time I cast my commander, but this is still just not a good card. It works with your commander, but it's still not a good card, right? It's probably better than Explore on average with this, but it's still not a good card. So, like, more a Kami, a Boreal Grazer, Manadorks would have just been fine. Would have been fine. You have less cards you're drawing and less to do with the mana, but that doesn't matter. Playing 2 lands on turn 1 is broken. It's something, if you have access to, you should always do. And even 2 or 3 turns in a row. It's your opponent is... it doesn't matter what your opponent's doing. You're just playing 2 lands a turn. It's cracked. So, I would probably do that instead of some of these birds that cost 3. Now, that's less birds, but I would also run more of the 1-mana birds. I think there's some kind, and I was probably about as close as you could get to it. Like this should have been in here. This should be in here. All the 1-mana ones. Oh, that might be it. Oh, this back in. Splash Portal was very disappointing. And I don't have any respect for this thing's existence, so I wouldn't run that. So yeah, all of those, I would say the 1-mana birds are just better than like these random 3-mana ones. Like this could come out. Mind Sensor is incredibly situational, probably worse than Stifle, because most of the time it's just for fetch lands. It's kind of just worse than Stifle. I know it's a bird, but I mean, even still. This thing was weird. It never happened, but I don't know. It could have happened. I just never let it happen. Helm of the Host is insane, but it requires a ton of mana. And the mana investment on this card is, in my opinion, probably not worth it. It is essentially another roaming throne. And if your opponent can't deal with the copies, then they're going to lose extremely fast. It is very, very, very fast. So it's on the side of win more than it is like helping you win the game. If you need this, if you invest 9 mana on your 4-mana commander and can also swing and expect value that you will also have to cast, and it's not just entering a bunch of tap lands, then I guess go for it. But every time I played this, it didn't feel too great. I mean, it feels amazing when it's doing its thing, but if I hadn't already won by then, it wasn't super ideal to just sink a bunch of mana into this and expect the cards it finds to work out, even if you have Roaming Throne at the same time. You're doubling 2 Chocos is like half your deck sometimes. It's a ton of cards, but like if you're not winning, then it doesn't matter. And it's not helping you win, really. It's too far on the other end of the game, in my opinion, to help you win the game. So, I don't know if I like it. It was fun, though. It was fun to play it. You could. Oh, yep. Someone just said it in chat. You could probably play something that lets the lands this fine enter untapped, like Spelunking, or the other two or three that play your lands untapped. I think those are okay. They're okay. It's close enough to what the only reason to play Derevi for me is just untapping your lands. So you probably could play those. Now those do sort of get in the way of your like, oh, I want birds before I play this at 4 mana. So I have the triggers in the first place. So like maybe your first trigger of Choco doesn't enter untapped or something. And I guess I still like Spelunking, even if it's like not the first wave of Choco triggers. Although that feels kind of bad. The Voice of Resurgence, not a single game ever gave me a token. I think it's still good. It's hard to say. Like VV was almost every other opponent I played today because of course it was. I don't know. Like VV does have plenty of things it wants to do on its on your turn, so I think this is okay. It comes in early enough to where I think it's reasonable to find tokens, and we are a go wide enough kind of deck that the token actually matters. And sometimes maybe it would have been right to actually swing with this and have it die and get the giant token. I just never did that. But I'm still pretty hooked on this. But I will admit, it never ever gave me a token. But every single deck you play against has the capacity to give you a token. It just never happens. It would be ideal for the token to matter early enough. You can't just have this board state where both people have like a bajillion things staring at each other and no one can swing. It's not like this has trample. So sometimes it wouldn't matter even if you got a token, but I don't know. I think this is worth trying. I really do. I'm still in on it. Still am in on that card. But yes, Spelunking effects would be nice. I did not really feel like I needed mana ramp that hard, right? It's not like without the mana dorks I was non-functioning. But I didn't need them to play the game. And that's very, very crucial. It's very important. The other landfall cards would be very nice. Like Scute Swarm probably would have won me one or two of those games that I lost had it been in play. Because we do make a ton of land drops, potentially, with this. I actually kind of felt like I wanted maybe one or two more lands in here instead of non-lands. So maybe just... I don't think there's any MDFCs. Someone asked me, I think just the other day, like, how often I play them. I said basically every deck. I actually didn't have any in this deck, MDFCs. So it's hard to make room for all that fancy stuff and also expect your birds to matter. You still need to, like, actually run, like, really bad cards just for this. So, but the payoff for cards like this is huge. It's just massive. Like, the 1 mana 1/1 birds were probably my favorite birds. By a lot in this deck. It's just like these were just so scary. If your commander ever sticks, it's just such a nightmare. More spot removal would have been very welcome. But yeah, like Tireless Provisioner and Scute Swarm. Tireless Provisioners probably should have just been in here. It also... What the heck? Oh. It also... It does, with your commander, give you untapped lands, right? So it's like Spelunking. You just get the mana untapped. I mean, you technically get twice as much mana, but half of it's untapped. So I think this is reasonable. And if you're interested in killing people with Scute Swarm, you could put this in here. But it's not a bird. I've done this 1,000 times. I just want to do it again. But we make enough landfalls where this card makes sense. I would put this in this deck. It's not a bird, and I don't want to get too heavy on the card I play every single green deck. Maybe that one can not be in the highlight reel, if you will. Yeah, and I also, if you don't own this card, would not recommend it. So, like, don't craft this. if you don't own it. And it's kind of a weird random card. I think I actually did craft this a very long time ago. Don't think I just randomly pulled this. I don't even know if you can pull this randomly. I think you can, but... or it might be from a historic... It doesn't matter. I'm rambling about something. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I would not recommend it if you don't own it, and you definitely don't need it. But it's a card that... It's one of those pet cards I'm trying to, like, you know... yeah, jam it in people's face. Make it work. Overwhelming Splendor is another card I love and would probably put in here. And there were more games than I expected that River's Rebuke and Cyclonic Rift would have been useful. There were plenty of scenarios where those would have made sense. I just didn't have them in here. Didn't expect them to make sense, but they actually did. So you could probably play those. What you take out for those, I don't know. You don't want a too low of a bird count, but an army of 1 mana 1/1 birds is good enough for me, honestly. Herald's Horn is It actually drew a fair amount of cards, which is funny. It's okay, so it's in an anthology set, Voice of Resurgence. This I like this. It was better than Urza's Incubator because discounting 2 wasn't really worth it, and the top decking thing was okay, I guess. I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, it's close. It's a ramp spell on top of a card draw spell. I don't hate it, but it could just be a bird. Could just be a bird. It could be Curiosity. Or one of the Curious Obsession, one of the Curiosities. But yeah, counterspell, you can't go wrong with more counters. You couldn't go wrong with more removal. You definitely could not go wrong with more mana dorks. You can't go wrong with more one-sided sweepers like River's Rebuke and Cyclonic Rift. Just what you're taking out depends on how few birds you're willing to go down. And like, you probably don't need the Sea Dasher Octopus. I did like this. I'm pretty sure I should have put this under instead of over. Something to really think about. One of the few instances where you actually want to keep the bird creature type instead of octopus, even though the bird is a 1/1. It's like, well, I want the bird for my commander. So something to think about there. But I like this. This is actually pretty cool. It played a ton of cards you don't normally play, which is really nice. So, can recommend it. Can recommend it. Design space is definitely like a 9 out of 10. Maybe even a 10 out of 10. Like, is this for a Birds Matters commander? It's like, oh, you're stuck with birds. Oh, but they did pretty well making even the weak Sag little birds that exist in the 30 years that Magic has been around, 30 plus years has been around, that like, yeah, okay, this is actually pretty solid for a birds commander. I like this. This is pretty cool. I like it. There were more options than like, oh, I'm stuck with the same 75 cards and they all have to care about this or they have to be mana drain level nonsense. This does its own thing and it's really cool. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.